That's what you want to do. Be happy. How are you feeling? Welcome back to Full Circle with Wikali, sending you those happy vibes. Just take them. It's the last day of the month, and that is it. And I told you guys at the beginning of the show, I'm super excited. Starting tomorrow, it's birthday month. Oh. But in the meantime, please tell us what your highlights have been for this month and what you're looking forward to for the rest of the months before we get into the new year. 111 that is our SMS line. Switch TV KE on Instagram, Switch TV Kenya on Facebook. Right now, though, it's Wednesday. You know how we do. It's time for Relationship Circle. Personality coach Mac Mbogur is in the building.
Asante sana. Because we are happy.
We are very happy. So just so you know, we were dancing during the break to that song. And I have to admit, I have left feet when it comes on compared to Mac is my moves.
But it's birthday month, so we have to do something. I have to have a gift and a routine, so we'll work on that.
Okay.
I've put myself on the spot.
Yes, on national television. Karibu sana.
Asante sana.
How's your week been?
It's been good. Just working out things, but everything is fine.
Okay, okay. Glad to have you here.
Thank you so much.
Today, we are talking about the closet. This is a sensitive issue.
It is.
Sisi kila mtu tuko nayo mahali tu, hata kama unaipanga chini mahali unapanga kwa box, kama zako ni drawers, kama uko na hangers, closet, whatever it is, we have a closet mahali tunaweka nguo zetu. And I don't know what that means, how you do it, how does that relate to your personality? And that is what Mike is here to tell us about today.
Yes, profoundly, because you know, the closet or the wardrobe is one of the most personal spaces.
Yeah.
And we are looking at a lot today, Mwikali, in terms of, you know, there's a chart of about 34,000 emotions that revolve around the closet space. That's why it's really profound. 34,000
emotions.
Emotions.
I have 3 rooms full of clothes. I think it's 34,000 times 3.
Today we'll look into that because there's a huge sort of intelligence we are looking for there. And that's the emotional intelligence, which is also, for our viewers, it's EQ. We are not looking at your IQ as we know it, intelligence quotient, but you shouldn't be surprised because some companies have really gone deep into this. Don't be even surprised when you're filling a company questionnaire asking you how you organize your clothes. Because they are looking for managerial skills, they are looking for organization skills. So today I want our viewers to know that precisely it's not how you dress that impresses personality, because that's why the focus has been what your clothes say about your personality. Today it's not about that. There's a lot of content around that space. What makes Full Circle with Mwikali special today is we are talking about how you organize your clothes in the closet or in the wardrobe. So we look into those 34,000 emotions. I'm just going to break it down into about 4 or 5 to really represent the rest. It's simply because per day, Mwikali, we have about 70,000 thoughts per day.
70,000 thoughts
per day, statistically speaking.
So that's on a good day. That's on a normal day. Because sometimes it feels like it's...
it's a lot, right?
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah, if that's
70,000 thoughts per day, statistically speaking. So either on a good day or a bad day, the key word is how you organize these thoughts. So before we talk about mental health, we are looking at emotional health. So in a nutshell, viewers, when we are trying to debunk or decode today, when we open your closet or wardrobe, we are looking at how you organize those thoughts. That's why when you began the show and said to some people, it's actually they have this cluster of clothes. You know, it's like you have to kind of dodge these craters in the bedroom. It's like you have these potholes in your bedroom that you're trying to kind of dodge here and there. And if you look closely at those cluttered clothes, some people really merge in the clothes. They fold them. They're little sort of clothes packed up together. And when you enter into some people's closets, you're really gonna know some sensitive men there, because today we are talking about relationship, men that you even didn't know that existed in terms of sensitivity. because they just don't organize shirts together. They just don't organize suits together. It's clothes by color. Some people even decorate their wardrobes or closet, Moikali. Decorate. They have the blue section here, the orange section here. They have the green section here. So they're going to have those green socks here. Everything according to color. You want that blue shirt? You want that blue blouse? You want that white pant?
It's not like all socks together.
All socks together by color.
All shorts.
All shorts together by color.
Oh my goodness. And I think this is very sensitive, because even when you welcome me to your home, Matt,
yes,
I will not get into your bedroom.
Exactly.
It's the living room, and it's what you want me to see. Because
Precisely.
That's the face value.
Precisely.
I will welcome you into my house, my living room,
yes,
my kitchen, but you will never know. So we are going deep today.
We are really going deep today. It's why you may allow anyone to walk around your home, but never, rarely, unless some few trusted friends, rarely the closet, rarely the wardrobe. So it's why the area of focus is there, how you organize those clothes, because we are revealed to how you organize these 34,000 emotions. And Mwikali, by the way, you can even know a narcissistic person through how they organize their clothes.
Oh, please,
and
that's what I want to know.
And toxic people in general. So it's not just in the workplace or how they talk verbally, it's how they organize their clothes. Because today we're going to look at those that have clothes that have not removed their labels. You buy them, but it still has that price tag. Why? Some people have sentimental clothes and organize their sentimental clothes. That means we're looking at generations. This is my dad's coat. This was my mother's sort of cardigan. And some people have very sentimental clothes. They preserve them for the next generation. But the problem is, if you keep them a lot, then you have hoarding issues. You don't want to bless someone or give someone, so you have a whole entire closet of hoarding sentimental clothes or hoarding sort of personality. We have also those that keep clothes that are too tight for them. Too tight.
See, I'll fit into them one day.
That's the thing. We want to look into that.
That was 3 years ago. I'm still looking at it.
It's still looking at it, and you're saying, why is still holding to it?
Okay.
Some people have baggy clothes. So we're going to look into that. Some people have designer clothes all through. There's nothing wrong with that.
But
God has blessed the work of your hands. But we are looking at also people who may have the tendency of having logos all through, but could actually give a very shred personality about hiding behind their own identity. These are the people potentially on the extreme. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with having designer clothes. But on the extreme end, if you wear designer all through, then in your space, you might actually look down upon me if I'm really not matching up to your standard. And this is where now we get to some toxicity that we are not really aware of. All that through how you handle or organize your clothes in that closet.
We're going to take a very short commercial break. Please start sending in your questions. Umeona wardrobe yake inakaaje? Yeye anakunja hadi kaboksa. Kunaenda aje? Are you worried? Do you feel like he's too much, she's too much? You're just okay with, I know where my phone is because it's under the white shirt that I saw 2 days ago under the bed, under a heap of clothes. If you're those ones. 111 444 111. And you're not saying there's a particular right way to do this. We're just looking at how you do it and what that means. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Full Circle. We have Mac Mbugo in the building. We're talking about your closet today. How you arrange it or not arrange it. It could be a wardrobe, a sanduku, a suitcase. You could be pangaing them on the floor, a hanger, whatever it is. How you arrange them and what that means about your emotional intelligence. Let's get to it.
Mwikali, I love how you introduced that, because how you organize is actually the essential keyword. And just to viewers who have just tuned in, we are talking about how you handle your EQ and what your closet has got to say about your emotional intelligence. Okay. There's a lot of issues we look into. We are looking at how you recognize emotions or identify them and how you manage them. So there are about two things. if you're the type that leaves clothes as they are, Mwikali, we have got some people who, they know where everything is. It's scattered, it's cluttered everywhere, but they know. Unataka nini? Kichano iko hapa, nini ingine unataka, hiyo white iko pale na pale. And we've got some mixed feelings with these people. Now, I know this is touching us on very different. Maybe there are those who are married, there are those who are not married. So, closet, we've got a lot of sentimental stuff that we are looking into. How we manage and recognize these emotions. Some people really survive by that. It means that there is a high level of creativity, but you're not good at managing them. You can actually look at how you can take this and use it 3 other ways. That clothes is right there because you can use 4 other avenues with it. And there are people who have everything for every outdoor activity that they have. So we are looking at different types of management. There are people who have gears for everything. You talk about that running, jogging, they have a full gear for it. They don't mix. They don't mix their clothes. They don't mix their shoes. Everything has to have its gear for it. These are very specific people, which takes us back to how they handle their wrapper. But today we are really talking about how you manage your closet. So with this kind of particular people, these are the people that you're going to find they have, they're those who organize their suits differently. Kuna hiyo koti na kuna hiyo trouser. Na kuna wale waneka koti peke yake and trousers kando and shirts kando. This is a very deep layered form of organization.
Okay.
When you're addressing them, talking with them, they love things spread out fast. These are the people you're going to hear, bring everything on the table before we start engaging. I don't want surprises along the way. This is how I organize my emotions. Like we said earlier, Mwikali, we have about 70,000 thoughts. We are questioning your organization. Otherwise, you will look scattered.
Yeah.
Then there are those who actually organize their clothes, like we said, according to color. This is a very rare form of organization. That means shirts are not just shirts or blouses just in the blouse section. No, according to color. There's a very high priority in terms of how they manage the informations or how they process information. They go or classify things according to priority. It's not that they didn't hear you. It's not that you are not going to address them according to emergency. They define what emergency is. They define what is important or not important to them. Yes, bring it all up, but I'll organize it according to priority. We'll address this issue today, that not today, perhaps tomorrow. These are the people who organize according to color. There's a very high form of sophistication. These are the same people, we call it, that depending on how deep layered they are, they have even almost multicolored their closet. This is where you're going to find that blue has some layers of category.
Shades.
They have got some shades for it. I put my blue socks here. I put my blue shirt or blouse here.
Navy blue.
Navy blue.
Light blue.
Light blue.
Sky blue.
Precisely, Mwikali. These are people who organize according to shades. Are you telling me you're going to have an ordinary conversation with these people? Absolutely not.
I don't think so.
Absolutely not. You are very precise on how you talk with these people. They've heard you. They have seen you. If it's a lady, she has precisely known where this conversation is going to begin. She's going to notice the things before you actually verbalize them. If he is a guy, that's why Mwikali said there are some sensitive guys to this level. You're going to find even shoelaces have their own section. Shoes have their own section. If it's white, we are talking about each color shade for it. Okay. These people are very sophisticated. So we are seeing a very sophisticated person.
Okay.
Then we've got the sentimental clothes that I talked about. Too baggy sometimes too tight. We have an issue, if you're that kind of person, we have an issue of self-reflection.
Okay.
We have an issue with self-image, how you see yourself. The reason why you can even organize that too baggy or too tight, there's an issue with self-reflection, which actually brings into what I talked about. When you have many logos, you're wearing many brands, nothing giving no room for your own identity, for your own creativity. If it's not branded or of a certain label, then it doesn't fit into your classification of how you view life. It's about positioning for you.
Yeah.
It talks about personality positioning, how you want your image positioned. So we lack your true identity. we lack to see your own way of doing things your own way.
Okay.
So that is what actually it says about, generally, about your personality.
Couple of questions. Well, I see your questions, by the way. I hope we'll have enough time for that. We will try. I'm looking at, you mentioned people with toxic traits.
Absolutely.
How will their closet look like? Is there a direct way to answer that?
Unfortunately, at times, for some toxic people, you may not recognize that immediately, because this is when you open up their closet, you see that there are sort of stains on some clothes that are not addressed. They are wearing, rewearing. They're just obvious stains that they're not addressing. Now you introduce to a lot of different categories of toxic people. We have also fake complimenters. Those are the top people, in fact, I want to talk about. We have about 7 if you open up the closet, but today I'm going to talk about maybe top 3. Fake complimenters. Precisely, you're going to find them when it comes to those who wear brands. Those who wear brands or certain logos, or they have to define themselves with certain brands. When you are in their space, you will feel like you are losing. You are not up to their task. These are people who are going to begin, Mikali, you look good, but
what are you wearing?
What are you wearing?
Nico,
Conversations.
Siko sure, nilipatiwa na Winnie Odande.
And you captured it,
Yeah.
and you see how you reacted to it. You have to kind of check.
Yes.
You have to verify your own self.
Because they're already making you feel like...
They're already making you feel image-wise insecure.
Okay.
Image-wise insecure. So you'll never feel you are up to the task.
Yeah.
You are up to what is rolling and what is trending. And for them, conversations, their vibe is around what's trending. And do you have it? Okay. So there's those fake compliments that come. Yeah, you look good, but it would be better if you tried this kind of clothes. And you're going to see these fake compliments coming along the way. Narcissism develops around that space. But it strongly comes with the IQ when it comes to business, because there's a certain body language for that. There's a certain trade for that. If you are not clothed in this way, and it's not a matter of clothes, it's the quality of the clothes. So when it drops down to become the quality of the clothes, yeah, I know you're wearing, but what kind of texture are we talking about here? What kind of suit are we talking about here? Because they're this different, and they make you feel overpowered. Yes, you're dressed,
yes,
but it's quality, so you start questioning again yourself in terms of quality. Do I wear what actually matters? And now this is when you're going to see your clothes are filled up with now the logos, the brands, to represent the quality that you feel is acceptable. Then we have the pessimist person. These are the top 3 that I want to talk about. Pessimistic people, people who act victim all the time. I don't think I have this. I don't think I'm in this way. These people act victim already. You can mash up anything to look good, but you always have an excuse of why you look. These are the people who have these corner eyes. They're really going to look, survey the room to see whether they fit in. They can even walk out just because they feel they are not socially acceptable. So we have a self-critical person here and a pessimistic person.
Yes.
All this is self-inflicted. You come in, size up. I think I really do not fit here. And we have that complexity of inferiority.
Okay.
So that complexity becomes a very high layered sort of insecurity, and then you walk away. So if this is coming from a level of relationship-wise, this is where now we really need to look into and have some huge focus, because some relationships, you may be pressured to keep up the pace.
Okay.
It's about EQ, emotional intelligence. Yeah.
Mark, we have many questions.
I'm ready.
You're good?
I'm good.
Great. Hi. Hi, Mokali and Mark. I'm the type with lots of clothes. I love hanging and folding them always, but depends on moods. I can do that, but sometimes nitasema si emergency and just leave them. Hi, neighbor. My personality ni gani? Personality ni gani yo?
Let's look at hoarding. Hoarding is the main thing. When you have all these clothes fitting in, I also see a sense of creativity with you. If you can manage to do that, within your closet space, I see a lot of creativity, but layered under hoarding scenario.
Okay.
You need to know when to let go.
Okay.
There needs to be, that means there's a long-term season where you don't self-reflect yourself.
Okay.
You're in motion, you're in rhythm, and that's great. But to yourself, self-organize yourself. I'm seeing a lack of selflessness on your end, that you need to give room to yourself. Such kind of hoarding, when you know there are dates when you organize, but you really do not self-reflect. I think that needs to be critical.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good morning, Mikali. Say hi to Mike and ask him what it means to pack clothes in a suitcase according to the type, e.g. t-shirts together, dresses together, trousers together, because hakuna wardrobe ya kupanga. Thanks.
Thank you so much for saying hi back. And I think when you have a suitcase, everything is layered according to what fits into that suitcase. I want to see what kind of color goes where, because now there are two avenues, like we said. Organization is one, but if you organize according to color, but since you said that perhaps hakuna your closet ya kufit in mambo, do you know that you have a very high level of emotional honesty? Do you know that's what matters to you when in terms of personality? For you, what matters most is emotional honesty. Ata kama we are going through a bump in the relationship, do we have everything first before we discuss?
Okay.
It's a good trait, but work on those elements.
Awesome. Hey, Mikali. Hi. I keep clothes everywhere and I never go shopping.
You keep clothes everywhere and you never go shopping. Let's begin with the first one, because never going to shopping, that really does not matter, because there are people who are inventive with the clothes that they have. But the fact that you leave everything everywhere, what's the obvious sign is that you leave so much unattended to. What's ile issue imejificha sana is I'm seeing a high level of insecurity with you. There's so much that you do not attend to yourself. Creative people are likely to behave in that way. Leaving everything everywhere, they've got this processing ideas but never actualize. But for you, it's about insecurity. Now, this is a common thing that everyone works at. Everyone is just trying to work on themselves. But for yours, it's unattended. We all have our own insecurities, which we are trying to conquer, but yours is unattended, which means there's a strong layer to attend to your issues. Do attend to yourself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You have less than 10 minutes. I'm trying, guys. I put my clothes in order of fabric, e.g.
Wow.
chiffon, cotton, etc.
Wow.
Then according to type, blouses, short dresses, long dresses, etc. What does this say about my emotional capacity?
Your emotional capacity is that you have a huge tolerance and your EQ is well positioned. You actually involve every other EQ of other individuals, people close to you. That means you're very good at managing. Did I hear that she organizes according to even whether it's cotton,
Yes.
whether it's
Chiffon.
I'm telling you, that is a very high level of EQ. However, your standards are pretty high. People need to understand that a deep layered EQ, because you're good at recognizing emotions and you're good at identifying emotions. The problem is people have not understood this as a skill in you.
Okay.
Because you're very good at identifying issues when they happen and what people are hiding. Rarely people hide around you because you kind of know issues. That's why you're that specific. See how you handle it. So you need to explain yourself.
Okay. Hi, Mikali. My man.
You're his man.
Yes. Doesn't even arrange them. And when I do it myself, he will still rearrange. What category is he?
So we're going to begin with what category is he and your category.
Okay.
Number one, definitely he needs to work on his emotions. But one thing I'm loving about you is your personality compatibility.
Okay.
That tells me that he can be as vulnerable or himself. This unmanagement from his side, it means that there's an unspoken trust with you to manage his unmanageable, so to speak.
Okay.
People like those, or people like that, or personalities like that, tend to leave things as they are because they trust your EQ capacity, your personality compatibility to handle themselves. The problem is that you're straining.
Okay.
You need sometimes to leave things a bit to create conversation. But it says something unusual about you, tolerance. Your personality compatibility is working out really, really good. Kudos.
Okay. What do you have a timestamp for that? 9:28. We have an interesting question
Okay.
here for you. Here we go. Good morning. Can I change my personality by adopting a specific arrangement?
You cannot adopt a personality by changing your routine.
Okay.
These things are behavioral. Remember, it's about your EQ. If there is a change, normally we give it around 21 days. It's what you'll change is your order of how you set things, not your personality change. It's your organizational change, not a personality. Personality takes time. It's probably hardwired. So by the time is that, essentially what we are saying is that you'll have a proper way of organizing your emotions. You'll have a proper way of organizing your EQ, which means a healthier IQ, and which means a better personality.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, Mwix, the gift. I'd like to know. I always plan the clothes to wear for the week. So if it's Wednesday and I don't know what I will wear on Friday, I feel unsettled.
Gift number one is that your intelligence works by planning. There has to be an outward plan for your functioning. An outward plan for your functioning. That's why you know what you're wearing before the D-Day. Just in case that routine does not work according to how you plan, that's why you say now stress comes in. And if you do not know what you're going to wear on Friday, as you said, now you start having this anxiety. Basically, you're just trying to say, we need to address the anxiety in your life. Okay. But what I love about you is that things work according to first, let me have a plan before we discuss. That's how you face life. If it comes into relationships, we need the plan before we dive in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, Mikali and Mac. Good show as always. I'm Joel watching from World of Prayer Garden. I think they tuned in last week as well.
That's good.
With Judy and the whole Kanyeves family.
Wow.
Thank
you so much, Pippa. I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
So, two people here. The husband's clothes are separate from the wife's, but the hubbies are well organized. But the wife, see folded, but in closed spaces. Wife wants to change to match up, but just gets busy and forgets. Please help.
We are having two sets of closet here.
Yes.
And I'm liking that you have a proper view of what's happening on your own side. Because if you share a closet, you are unlikely to identify what you need to work on.
Yes.
People who share closets, sometimes we never know. We can't, if we were to have one closet, would argue. These are your clothes. You're the one who does it. So our argumentative sort of compatibility is not telling us what we need to work on separately, like we discussed on the previous show. So now that you have separate closet, we know now who's organized. We know how they organize. You have also your own set of organization, but as you're saying, it's not as organized as the husbands. So you work by processing. I need things in a clutter. I know how to organize myself. So you take huge chunks of information.
Okay.
You process it on your own. That's what your closet is saying. Your hubby is very different. When information comes in gradually.
Okay.
I take in, that's the coat, that's the shirt. Everything is organized. So if you're addressing me, please, everything has got to be laid out well. For you, it may come in once, and you may clutter it in your closet, as it says. So it's about processing of information, how information comes in and how you process it. So my area of help in this, number one, is to identify how you receive information. Okay. You need to work a lot on your EQ, because if we are trying to solve things, it means that he will handle it one day at a time and get it out there.
Okay.
You may hold it for a little bit longer, but eventually we'll achieve the same goal, which is a good thing.
One more question. I think that's all the time we have now. Iko wapi? Where are you? Oh, morning Mikali. As for me, napenda sana kukunja nguo sana. Even before I was married, my mom used to leave her clothes there because she knew I wouldn't leave those clothes there. I hate to see disorganized clothes, even house nakupasa nguo. And then comes my hubby, very disorganized. Mbaya. Like yesterday, I left with the baby to go to town. Nilipata nyumba yangu inakaa Gikomba. What does our emotional intelligence mean?
The emotional intelligence in this relationship is, number one, the man needs to know the kind of wife he has. This is where we have to stoop low and work on our emotional intelligence as men.
Okay.
Because we have a hard-wired attribute from the lady.
Okay.
Kitambo, mamake alikuwa anamuonesha hivi. So we have this deep layered. So as a teen, they loved things in a certain way. As a young adult, they loved things in a certain way. And now in their journey of adulting, now that they are married, you can see this lady handles information. She manages her emotions very well. The error that can come in is when the man comes in and just comes in from a different angle. There's an issue with communication on how you process your emotion. That's what we are getting from the lady. Definitely your EQ works like this. A lot will be unattended to, unfortunately, unless the man knows. But I love how your EQ works. It just says that something of how you handle your emotions is through conversation. Organization just makes you feel you go higher.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have time for one more? Just one more. Hi, Wekali. I'm that guy who will have coats and then long sleeve shirts, then short sleeves shirts, short sleeves shirts.
Yes.
In that order. So coats, long sleeve, short
sleeve.
sleeve. In that order, kwa hangers za stand. I get really anxious when that order is not followed.
Yes.
And I have been blaming my crazy OCD. I actually get angry.
Yes.
When mtu amemix nguo, iji jeans na khaki,
Yes.
t-shirts na vest, etc.
These are the breed of men that we are talking about today, Mwikali. The men of having his own closet, like
Yes.
we answered the earlier question,
Yeah.
and the men who handle their clothes in that way. Bro, it's not really about OCD. It's not yet OCD. It's just that disorganization just gets the better out of you. It's the irritation we are looking at. Look for irritative things or from people. That's what it says about you. I guess I'm going to answer you later.
Okay, you've seen my time is really up.
Yes.
Please direct all your questions to Mark.
Absolutely.
You do this for them all the time.
Yes, I do.
Social media handles.
That is YouTube, Mark Mbogwa. In Instagram, that is Mark_Mbogwa. In Facebook, Mark Mbogwa. And in Twitter, @Gifted Purpose. Thank you, people.
Great. We're going to take a very short commercial break. When we come back, I step out with the Decaplo Fitness gang and we do some cardio boxing workout. So don't go too far, that will come up after the break.